Creepy Hearthstone unboxing take 2. Started take 1 on my Mac, and it just didn't go well. You know, honestly, I cannot get the sound to work for crap on the Mac. I'm really disgusted with it. Anyway, unboxing videos are kind of a thing these days. I think they're kind of creepy. And I made a joke. Today was my birthday, and I got a bunch of Hearthstone monies for fake cards from my family. And I made a joke that I was going to do a creepy unboxing video. My brother actually said he'd watch it, so here I am. I tried doing my first one on the Mac, and it killed the sound on Hearthstone when I hit record. I got disgusted. And so I'm running in a parallel virtual machine with a Windows machine on my Mac, recording with Fraps. So, go figure. Alright, so let's begin. I'm opening my first pack. Pack 39. Alright, Viscerate. Solid card. Common, obviously. Not too exciting. But, very, very good card. You know, if you don't have it, it's awesome. Unbound Elemental. I don't really care for this card very much. I mean, Overlord's a good mechanic. This is a very good card, very good against the Nax bosses, and you know, good against if you're playing against a lot of Zoo, whatnot. It's got a place. It's sort of a meta-dependent card, but it does have a place. Deadly Shot, very, very awesome in the current overpowered Hunter meta. Fairy Dragon, good, solid, common. So overall, this is a pretty average pack. Moving on. Stranglehorn Tiger. I run this card in my Hunter deck. I run one of. I love this card. I think it's great. It's a beast. It's a good card. Very solid. Direwolf Alpha. You know, another solid beast card. Demon Fire. People run it. No, I don't think really a lot of people run this. And it's an okay card. I don't think a lot of people run it in Zoo these days. This right here, you see it in pretty much every Druid deck. Solid card. Epic! And I got an Epic. Hungry Crab. Not a very good card. I mean, I suppose like in a Murloc deck it's good. People run it, but you know, I don't really consider it. It's basically for the dust at this point. Okay, this right here, you know, I run one of in my Miracle deck. Good solid card, you know. A lot of mages run this in their sort of current with the secret mage going around right now. It's got the mad scientist. I don't particularly care for it, but a lot of people like it. And, I don't play Druid very much, so I have a lot of trouble evaluating Druid cards. Druid's really the one class I don't have the hang of at all, so, you know. I don't think I have that card, though, so, that's a card I don't have. I'm not really a big fan of that card. Like I said, I'm not really much of a Druid guy, so I have trouble evaluating that. Mad Bomber, I like him. You know, people run him a lot in Zoo. Or do they run? I don't know if they run. I mean, I see them a lot. I don't know if it's really a stock Zoo card, but I see them a lot. I mean, RNG. Now, Ventrico I like a lot. I play him. You know, he's kind of a placeholder I play when I don't have a deck with a finisher. You know, when I don't have some sort of big legendary or whatever in a deck. I like him. You know, people disagree with me on it, but I think he's a good solid card when you don't have other things to play that are good finishers. And I don't really know how I feel about that card. I don't really play it very much. Shaman's another one I don't really play. That's a pretty decent card. Except the Overload's pretty heavy. This is a pretty common card that gets played in Handlock. You know, like I said, I'm not much of a Druid player, so I can't. I'm sorry, I'm not really much of a Warlock player either, other than Zoo. So I really can't vouch for it, other than to say I see it a lot in Handlock. Not good. Bad card. Well, no, Divine Shield. I don't really play it. Jungle Panther. I play this in Arena. I don't really play it in Constructed. I don't play it in my Hunter deck. I think it's an okay card, but you know, you don't want that 2 butt. That 2 defense just makes it. And we get Sword of Justice. Really good card, awesome card, and a card I do not have. So I'm very happy about that. This is a very, very, very strong card, and can't complain. I mean, it's really a staple in any constructed Paladin deck, I think. You really need that card. Demons aren't really a thing. You know, if you look at Warlock, you've got basically Zoolock and you've got Handlock, and there really aren't any standard demon decks, and so, you know, demons aren't what make those two decks strong. So this is not really, doesn't have a place right now. It's not that it's a bad card, it just doesn't have a place in the current structure of Warlock decks. I already talked about this one. I don't know why my stuff keeps hanging here. This is a good card. This is a good card for Freeze Mage. I don't really play Freeze Mage. My mage deck is more of a secret mage, not like a crazy secret mage, but so I don't really play this a lot. But it's a good card. You know, I play Rogue quite a bit. When I play Rogue, I play almost exclusively Miracle. So I don't play this card. This isn't really a Miracle card. I haven't really seen it in like the other Rogue builds either. I think it's a decent card in the right situation. Just, you know, costed. It's a decently costed card, but I haven't really seen it work. I'm sure at some point this card will probably work. I just haven't seen it. This right here, I'm seeing this a lot more. I'm seeing this card get played a lot more. You know, it looks kind of goony, but I'm seeing it in some Rogue builds and occasionally in a Warrior build. So. This right here, I play in my Miracle Rogue deck, play it in one of my Priest decks. Talked about this one. Acolyte of Pain, you know, good, solid card drawing engine, mainly for warrior control. Sometimes I see it in some wizard builds. This right here is a turd. Raging Worgen is a card I was absolutely in love with when I first started playing the game. I think it's still a decent card, but it's really hard to make it work. People go beeline for it, and I just don't really know. This right here, I see people play it a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about it. You end up burning 2 cards for 1 most of the time, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that card. This right here, like I said, my Druid evaluation skills are turds. Previously, I really liked this card a lot, but after I started playing Freezing Trap, I realized Freezing Trap is just so far superior to this in the Hunter build that I almost never play this card anymore. It's a good card. That's just to show you how strong the other secret is. Wisp, we all know that. You know, don't know.
Golden Common.
All right, that's dust. That's a good card. Turd. Everyone knows Paladin secrets are shit. That's all there is to it. The people play this in Handlock. Like I said, I'm not really much of a Druid player, but people play this in Handlock quite a bit. This right here, I think, is a decent card. I think people do play this in Zoo sometimes. I'm not sure, but I think that's a pretty decent card. We already talked about that. Turd. Some people play this. I'm not really a big believer in this card. I don't think it really fits in a Miracle. Angry Chicken is a joke. Acolyte of Pain, we've already talked about. Slam, absolute solid staple for warrior control. Awesome card. We talked about that already. I mean, Paladin Secrets are just not good. I mean, I just do not think they're good cards. This is a decent card. I don't really think it has a place right now. We already talked about that. That. Loot Hoarder, good, solid. You play them all the time, all kinds of decks. Great card. I actually like this card. I don't think it really works necessarily in Warrior Control, which is pretty much the standard Warrior build, but I have played it in some weapon-heavy Warrior builds, and I think it's actually very strong in that build. Now, I don't think that the weapon-heavy Warrior build is really viable on a really high level, but I think you can make a good, strong, fun deck with it, you know, and probably rank in the, you know, mid-teens down to maybe, you know, 11, 12, and you know, play solid with it and have fun. You know, I think it's a good card. This guy right here, you know, I like his little brother. I'm not really a big fan of his. Too expensive for what he does. Alright, so we got our legendary, and I'm... Alright, we get Turd Master over shit. Okay, yeah, whatever. He used to be really strong until they nerfed him. Conceal is, you know, a staple in Miracle. I run one Conceal in the Miracle deck. Doomguard, absolute freaking beast in Zoo. Just a fantastically broken card. I mean, really... You should not be able to play this card when you get down to 0 cards. It's absolutely broken. I mean, they should require, like in Magic, that you can do the second action in order to get the card. Awesome freaking card. Dread Corsair, you know, I'm seeing people play this now. I don't play them, but I'm seeing it, you know. People play this in I think in Handlock. Like I said, I don't play Handlock, so I don't really know. Shield Slam, absolute wonderful card for Warrior Control. I run 2 of them in my Warrior deck. Awesome card. I think he's a good solid 1-drop in the right situation. Iron Beak Owl has a place. Good solid, you know.
Silence.
With all the taunts around, you know, this is a good thing to run in kind of a more aggro deck just to knock down the taunts. Good card. People play the hell out of this against me, so I assume it's probably good. As you can tell, I almost never play Druid. This right here, good solid card. I play it in my Shaman deck. Turd. Good solid Priest card right here. I play him. And this right here, I do play this card in my Hunter deck. I think it's a good card. We already talked about him. I don't really think this is a good card. I mean, 6 mana. I mean, you get the 5 mana one for the rogue that does a destroy, and this adds the 3 health to your hero. But I don't know. It's getting really expensive for what it does. I don't know if I like the card. This guy right here, I like a lot. He's a fun as hell card. I don't think he's necessarily viable currently in a competitive deck. But he's fun as hell. I think he's just a fun, well-designed card, and I love playing with him in sort of a fun, bouncy rogue deck where I'm doing lots of bounce effects, and it's just a fun card. I love it, but I don't think it's necessarily competitive. Leper Gnome, people call him Cancer Deck Announcer. Basically, if someone plays this card, you know they're going straight for your face and trying to kill you fast. Effective card. Defender Vargas, absolute beast of a card. Played in Zoo, played all over the place. I mean, when I'm in doubt, I throw this guy in. 4-drop is kind of a weak spot in a lot of decks, I find, and he's just an absolute beast. I almost just by default throw him in if I'm trying to build something new. I love him. We already talked about that. Sorcerer's Apprentice. I go back and forth on that card. I mean, sometimes it's fantastic when you get stuff for free or for 1 mana. It's just in a spot where I'm not sure how happy I am about this. This guy right here, I do not like. I mean, and we get legendary. This guy right here is what I call dust. No, I'm just kidding. I'm probably not going to dust him, but I don't think he's really a viable card right now. I just don't. He's too expensive for what... I mean, he's got decent stats. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He passes the vanilla test, but he's a legendary, for God's sake. And, you know, you're not really going to be able to get this to go off very much. The things he generates have got a 1, but I just don't think he's really worth the slot. I just don't think he's a viable card. I prefer the freezing trap to this because this happens right as they play it, whereas the freezing trap happens upon attack. It makes them, you know, put later on in the process. They have to deal with it, and I feel that, and plus a lot of things, you know, they may have an 8/8, and then they have to replay it, and it may cost 15 or whatever. You know? So I prefer the freezing trap. Fen Creeper, too expensive for what he does. Doesn't pass vanilla test. 9, you know, 6 + 3 is 9. 5. What you want is these 2 added up to be double that, right? That's the vanilla test. This guy doesn't pass the vanilla test. Not good. I just don't think she 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. She's not good.
Gold, rare.
All right, so I'm gonna stick this in my hunter deck like as soon as I'm done with this because I've already got an eagle horn bow, but this one's gold, and I think I may actually, on a rare occasion, not dust a golden rare because I really like this card. You know, with the current, I mean, the hunter is so unbelievably strong right now. I mean, in the time I've been playing, this hunter deck is the strongest I've seen a hunter deck, or any deck really. I mean, I started playing right at the tail end of beta, and a quality, really good card. It gives the paladin a really good board wipe. You know, you got to burn another card for it, yeah, generally, but good card. I actually need this card. Like a moron, I dusted this guy a while back to get, I don't know, some stupid dumb card that sucked. So I've been needing him, so I'm very happy to draw him. I have this like really bad problem where when I dust something, I don't want to recraft it. Amani Berserker is like the Worgen I was absolutely in love with early when I was playing. He's just hard. The way that the card is that people are so focused on it that it's almost impossible to get his ability off, right? And so you may say, okay, well that's great. They're playing around a 2-drop and they're putting a lot of energy into a 2-drop, and yeah. But I don't necessarily feel that work they put in is putting you in such an advantageous position to be worth it. I'd almost rather a cantrip or some other silence or something. So, depending on the deck, he may fit, but I'm having trouble finding a place for him these days. Cult Master, I have to be honest, I have trouble making him go off. I've seen a lot of card evaluations where people are like, this card's freaking phenomenal, and I just have trouble making him go off. I've recommended him to a lot of people, watched him play, and it's just hard as hell to make the guy go off. Maybe I'm just too bad, but I have trouble. He's, in theory, great. I have trouble getting it to work. That's actually, you know, a good card. What people play this card for, the most part, it's like the traditional Magic the Gathering burn deck where they play, I think it's Howling Mine. And that's what this card, the main reason you play this card is when you're playing a card whose whole purpose is to empty your hand and constantly just go face, 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 right? And so you don't care if they draw cards because you're going to be drawing cards that go to face and you're killing them before they can kill you. This is absolutely a uber aggro card and a good solid card if that's the structure of your deck. I would never play it other than in that context. This guy I don't think is good. We talked about this card. Shield Bearer gets played in some zoo, but because of the 0 attack, he's falling out of favor for other 1-drops. Good card. I play him a lot in Arena. In Constructed, I have trouble finding a place for him. He doesn't, you know, pass the vanilla test, but Silence is pretty solid. This right here, I'm not a big fan of Paladin Secrets in the first place. Now, I don't have this card, and I like it. I like the looks of it. I think that he's got good stats for his cost. The Battle Cry, who gives a crap? I mean, I just think this is I don't know how viable he is right now in Handlock, and I've seen him in Handlock. I don't know if I've seen him in Zoo. You know, I think it's a good card. I have not seen it a lot out in the wild, but I personally think this is a good, strong card. I love this card. I use this card quite a bit. I use it as a form of quasi-removal. When I'm behind in board position, I'll put it on his most dangerous minion so that every time he attacks with the dangerous minion, you know, I'm getting a card. He's not going to want to not attack because it's a dangerous minion, and so it's a really good card to put your opponent in a position to make bad decisions. Additionally, if you've got an empty board, you're playing against a control deck, it's great to put on some, you know, crappy card. Another Handlock card a lot of people play. Turd. Absolute monster, the Heart of Miracle Rogue, the best card drawing machine in the entire game. Love him. Absolute beast of a card. I actually like this guy too. I actually play one of in my Miracle Rogue instead of Edwin Van Cleef. I don't have Edwin Van Cleef, and so I play this guy in his place. Good strong card. Soul Forest, Druid, you know. Dread Corsair, like I said, people are starting to play him. This right here, very, very good synergy with the Akanai Soul Priest, where you play the Akanai Soul Priest, then you do this, you blow the board. Very good synergy there, good card. Also has synergy with Northshire Cleric in certain circumstances. I don't play this. I see a ton of people playing it in their Secrets deck. It's got good stats for its cost. You know, I don't play it, but it's a good card. Talk about him. Talked about him. This right here, RNG, I'm not sure I really like that card very much. Druid. A lot of unhappy Druids watching this, if there's any. I don't know how I feel about this card. I think I don't really like this card. This right here, very, very strong card. People play it in Zoo a lot. It's a very good card against the egg. Very, very... right now, this is a fantastic card because it does a lot of different things. You know, it gives you that last point of damage, it gets rid of the egg, it gets rid of taunts. Fantastic card. We already talked about that. Badass card drawing engine. Not really that big a fan of that card. I mean, a lot of people play these sort of enraged warrior decks and stuff like this runs. I generally play control warrior, so I don't see it. I don't really, you know, get a lot of mileage out of that card. Decent. This right here. I mean, this right here is a fantastic card. I mean, for three cost, especially when you're talking about Shaman, who can get out a +1 spell the turn before this, and now you're doing 3 to 4 damage every. I mean, this is a killer of a card. This right here, guys, fantastic. 9 times out of 10, you want to do the taunt. When I first started playing, I would always do the charge because I'm stupid. You really want the taunt almost every time on this guy. Great card. This right here, the biggest problem I have with this card is that I generally end up with too many weapons, and so like on turn 2 I play. Ideally, you know, on turn 2 you play your axe, and then you play something on turn 3, then her on turn 4. You got a 2/2. But you know, if you consider the curve, it's like, okay, well, you play her on turn 4. Well, if on turn 5 you've got the 5/2 axe, you find yourself in a lot of awkward positions where you just got too many weapons. This guy right here, great in control warrior. Right now, there's a lot of decks playing him. Really, really good card. Absolutely solid. And we don't want to talk about her. I absolutely despise this card. I don't play Druid, but I can't imagine why you would want to play this card. I mean, I don't know. Because, I mean, you're playing a control deck. If you're playing a control deck, why do you want your opponent drawing cards? I don't know. Harvest Golem, I mean, just one of the best cards in the game. Just absolute solid value. Fantastic, cheap card. If you're building a deck and you don't know what the hell you're doing, throw Harvest Golem in. He's awesome. Lightwell, you know, people love doing weird tricks with Lightwell and Priest flipping the defenses and the attacks and making a 30/30 creature, blah, blah, I don't know. I mean, he's okay. I'm not a big fan. This guy right here is great. I actually don't have him. It's one of those things where it's like I've got a bunch of cards, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have Sunwalker? And it drives me out of my mind. So I'm glad I don't know if this is my second one or my first, but I know that I've been annoyed time and time again when I go to build a deck and it calls for Sunwalker and I don't have it. So this guy right here is a beast. I mean, his stats don't 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, they don't really pass the vanilla test, but Taunt, Divine Shield more than make up for it. Very, very good card. This right here, you know, you're starting to see more of this with the more aggro, weapon-oriented warrior. Very good card. Very big fan of this card. I love it. It's just very, very powerful. I mean, it's basically 1 on one turn, 1 on another turn, 3 damage. Absolute power value card. This guy, a lot of people are playing this in their Secrets deck. I don't, and maybe I should start because I know that when I see him, I groan. I get so, and when someone plays this card, I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, so I haven't had a lot of experience playing him, but I can tell you against him, he's a pain in my ass, so he's probably good. Decent card. We already talked about it. And, you know, Argent Commander, a staple in a lot of decks. You're seeing them all. I mean, he's another one of those kind of cards where you're like, okay, what do I do? I'm at my 6 drop. I don't know what the hell to put in this deck. it's hard to go wrong with this card. Very, very strong card. You know, he's basically removal. That's the important thing to remember. He's basically sticky removal that your opponent has to deal with. This right here, like, I don't think this is... Because the ability, it doesn't continue to stack and it's just a one-time thing on heal, I don't think it's a very good card. We're talking about that. Talking about that. And this guy right here, you know, I don't think the two big rogue builds generally are Miracle, and they have the more aggro forms that are face rogues. I can't remember what they're called. And I don't think that they play him. Most of the time when I see Defias Ringleader, it's in kind of a, you know, fun, having fun, lots of little creatures deck. I don't really think he's a very, very strong card. It's a decent card if you don't have a lot of cards and you're just trying to have fun, but it's not really competitive. You know, don't. I actually have two of this guy already, and I haven't dusted him because I am looking for the Pirate Dream. I want to build a pirate deck really bad. I want to build a pirate warrior deck very, very bad. And so I'm gonna dust him because I've already got two of them. But Fairy Dragon, absolute pain in the ass to deal with. Great card, I love it. Already talked about that. Freezing Trap, my favorite trap in the entire game. I love this trap. You know, I only recently realized how awesome it is because I just looked at the ability and just didn't think it was all that special. Then I started playing it, and I mean, it is such an amazing tempo advantage when you fire off that freezing trap, especially when you pair it with the Mad Scientist. It's just phenomenal. And so I think Mad Scientist freezing trap right now is pretty much the strongest combo in the game. I mean, it's just, and it's not even a combo. You get it automatically if you play them both in your deck. I play two Mad Scientists, two freezing traps, and just, I love it. Stampeding Kobo, seeing lots of play right now. Very solid, strong card with lots of weenies in the game. Very, very strong card. Argent Protector, very, very strong Paladin card. I play him in my Paladin deck. Abusive Sergeant is okay. I'm not really a big... I play this in my Secret Mage deck, but I'm not married to it or anything. It's okay. Okay, I needed this card because I am trying to build Handlock, and like a moron, I dusted this at some point to get my third Gorehowl or some stupid crap. At one time, I thought it was like Magic where you needed two of every card, and which is true when you're playing, like when you are talking about a smaller card, like a 2-3 mana card that you absolutely want to draw all the time. But when you're talking about you know, something like Gorehowl, you really only want one of them because Magic, you have 60 cards plus, you know, a third of them are land. And so if you really want a realistic, you know, chance of drawing something, you need two of them. Well, this game isn't like that. In Hearthstone, there's a pretty good chance you're going to draw most of your cards at some point. And then, yeah, even if you don't, oh well. I mean, it's not like you're getting screwed all the time. And so when I first started playing, I was dusting everything under the sun, so I'd have two Gorehowls, or two this, or two that. And, you know, when you're talking about these high mana cards, you really don't need that. So I dusted him, I'm pretty sure, to get my second Gorehowl, which was a tremendous mistake. Not really a big fan of that secret, just because of the strength of Freezing Trap. This is decent. I prefer the creature that does the same thing. The name's escaping me right now. I can't remember his name. Mortal Strike. I think this is a decent card. I'm not really playing it. Flesh Eating Ghoul. Really, really good card. I think he's very solid. He's kind of another one I kind of drop into a deck when I'm not sure, like if I'm building something and I don't know what else to play. This card right here, one of the best cards in the game. Absolute freaking beast. Just almost broken. It's so powerful. When people play this early in the game and set up a powerful board position, it's very, very debilitating. Very, very good card. Thoughtsteal, people play it in tons of priest decks. I don't have a lot of experience playing with it. We've already talked about this. Soulbreaker, already talked about him. Already talked about that. Dust Devil. I've seen some people do some crazy stuff with this. This is more of like a Johnny Combo fun card. I've seen people do some crazy things with it. I don't play it. Doomguard, we already talked about that. So we're getting towards our end. Mirror Entity, I think, is a good card. I do play it in my secret. I actually, you know what? I don't know if I play this. I was playing it in my secret mage deck. I'm not sure if I swapped it out. I can't remember. I don't like this card. I really don't. I just don't think it's worth it. Very good. This is, you know, Frege Maze staple. People play a lot of that. Well, all right. That's my creepy unboxing. Hope that it was informative. I hope that, you know, my commentary on the cards was not